The only active console on this derelict span of U-Bahn platform is an old video arcade machine. The CRT monitor set into the machine's cabinet glows invitingly. Cheerful, pixelated graphics swirl and dance on the screen. Investigate the machine. At the base of the controller panel, you find a cleverly hidden input port. The port is shrouded in black plastic, and it appears to be the approximate shape of a typical cred stick. Internal motors grip the cred stick and pull it into the machine. It disappears into the port, and the screen goes black. Moments later, a video image fills the screen. The picture is dark and grainy, a far cry from the bright, colorful sprites that previously inhabited the display. On the screen is a dimly lit office. The place looks like it was pulled straight from an old detective movie, from the Venetian blinds in the windows to the great swaths of shadow that paint the walls black. Center stage, sitting behind a large mahogany desk, is a silhouette of an impressive-looking woman in a charcoal gray suit. The tip of a cigar glows cherry red in the shadows. She leans forward into the light, and you catch your first glimpse of Alice. Her face is all hard planes and sculpted angles, with high cheekbones and almond eyes. Her lips are painted a frigid blue, but the look in her eyes is even colder. A head of lustrous black hair is interspersed with flowing streams of cyan light. Alice exhales a plume of smoke, then tips her cigarette into a nearby ashtray. She fixes her eyes on you, and her lips curl into a humorless smile. "We're on your dime, friend. Tell me what you're looking for." "I need you to find someone for me. Dr. Adrian Vauclair." She raises an eyebrow. "The Dragon Slayer. Interesting. He's been missing for a long time." "Yes, he has. The question is, can you find him?" She looks you in the eye, and the smile disappears. Her voice is all business. "If he's out there somewhere, I'll find him for you. He could be living under an assumed name in California Free State, and I'd still track him down. And if he's not alive, I'll tell you where you can find his corpse." "Speaking of corpses, Alice, I think that I might know who you really are." "Oh?" Alice leans toward you. Her smile spreads into a predatory grin. "Do tell." "There was a member of Echo Mirage named Alice Hefner. She died back in 2029 fighting the crash virus. Rumor has it she still exists in the Matrix. Still calls herself Alice, too. An interesting theory, but I fear that my price to confirm or deny it would fall well outside of your price range." Alice leans back in her chair. "For now, let's get back to the business at hand." So Alice Hefner was also the wife of, like, the president of the UCAS at the time, which is the United Canadian American States, right? I believe. Because this is another... Yeah, United Canadian and American States, because obviously this is another universe where Canada got annexed. Just like Fallout. Alice steeples her fingers. "Alright, here's how this is going to work. When you give me the go-ahead, I'm going to start gathering information for you. Once I finish, you're going to bring me a cred stick encoded with an encryption key that I'll provide you. That cred stick will have 50,000 new yen on it. When I get my cred stick, you get your information. That is the deal. Take it or leave it." "Alright, you've got a deal." "Okay, but remember, you say go and I go. From that point on, you're on the hook to pay me my fee. No turning back, no refunds. Are we square on this?" "Yeah, we're square." "Good. I'll be in touch." The screen goes black. Moments later, the machine reboots. The colorful sprites that you saw when you first approached the arcade cabinet return. There's nothing more to see here. Alice is gone. Oh, Dante came with me. I didn't even notice. What a good dog. Best boy. There's a hair in my coffee. Ugh. Novacat, did you make contact with Alice? Yes, I did. She accepted your payment, and I ordered the search for the information we need. Very good. I can't imagine that this will be cheap. What was Alice's stated price? You're right on that count. 50,000 new yen. He shrugs. It is about as I had expected. Thankfully, we are prepared for this. I have established contact with a number of new clients. You can find information on the jobs logged on your mission computer. One jobs file is on there already. While you're working to earn Alice's fee, I will continue to dig for clues about Fireshwing. If she is, in fact, roosting under the Harfield Manor, then there must be some evidence to support that fact. A dragon is a large thing to hide, after all. Be careful, Paul. Remember what happened to Monica. I will never forget. Don't worry, Novacat. I'm going to conduct my investigation the old-fashioned way. Through contacts and deduction and careful observation. I will not jack into the Matrix until this entire sorry episode is finished. That's probably wise. Speaking of doing things the old-fashioned way, Malid is working to recover information off of those other DVDs. It's a painstaking process, and it will not be quick, but she is optimistic that she will be successful in time. Finally, I have been checking up on our friend, the orc with the skin grafts. I haven't heard anything back yet, but I'll keep you appraised as the situation develops. Sounds good, Paul. I'll go check up on those jobs. One last thing before you go, Novacat. Samuel Beckenbauer wanted me to pass the message to you. Do you know him? The orc who runs the shelter across the way. Yeah, we've met. Ah, well, he has a job for you. He wouldn't discuss it with me, but he promised that it would prove worth your time. I'll keep that in mind. Alright, let's go do that first thing, actually. I want to do all the side content in this game. Hello again, Mindforden. What can I do for you? I heard that you wanted to talk about a job. Yes, I do. Thank you for coming so promptly. He takes a deep breath, slowly releases it, and looks you in the eye. Tell me, what do you know about the Humanist Poly Club? They're monsters? He nods. A label that I would not apply to many people, but the leadership of Humanists are deserving of the title. They corrupt angry young humans into bile-spewing hate-mongers. Their bloody rhetoric helped to instigate the Night of Rage. Night of Rage? A worldwide race riot that took place in February of 2039. Thousands of innocent metahumans were attacked, beaten, and killed. Women and children were corralled into warehouses for protection, and then burned alive when the structures were put to the torch. This is what Humanist stands for. This is the agenda that its leaders strive to advance. They will not be satisfied until all metahumans, everywhere, are driven from the face of the earth. Disgusting. And this job of yours has something to do with Humanists? He nods. Yesterday I overheard one of my assistants talking on his comm. He was yelling, clearly agitated. I questioned him and he confided in me. What he told me made my blood run cold. What did he tell you? His brother, Tuck, works for a smuggling operation based in Schottennest. Apparently, these smugglers have accepted a contract from Volker Stahl. Stahl is a vicious ideologue and the leader of the Berlin chapter of Humanists. The cargo that the smugglers are delivering includes a large quantity of an extremely hazardous chemical agent. Naturally, this fills me with unease. Whatever Stahl has planned, it can't be good for us. I want you to infiltrate the smuggling operation that is delivering the shipment. Once you arrive at the Humanist compound, you will find out what they're planning to do with the chemical and put a stop to it. What makes you think they'll talk to me? I'm no more human than you are. Many of the smugglers are metahumans. If you travel with them, Humanists will allow you into their compound. The rest will be up to you. As long as they can get me in the front door, I can take care of the rest. He nods. Yes, good. From your reputation around the cruise bazaar, I knew that you were the right woman for the job. Wouldn't it be easier to just hijack the shipment? Why allow it to get to the Humanist compound at all? He shakes his head. No, stopping the shipment would not stop Humanists. They would merely acquire another. For a pack of snarling racists, they are extremely well funded. Let's talk compensation. What does this gig pay? I have contacted sister organizations across Berlin and taken up a collection. Between us, we have raised 22,000 new yen as a payment. I trust that this will be sufficient? I'll do it. Count me in. He nods. Excellent. I am relieved. I will make the arrangements for your meeting with the smugglers. Their leader is an elf who calls himself Maxim. Take the U-Bahn to Shotton Nest and you will find him waiting there. Best of luck to you, Novacat, and good hunting. Know that you are doing a great thing for the metahumans of Berlin. Your efforts will not go unrecognized. Is this the point where we should go talk to Dietrich? Because this does involve him, if I recall. Oh, yeah, he's literally not here. He meets us there. Oh, God, the farmer cleanup job. Oh, unknown message. We would like to arrange a meeting between you and one of our representatives. You will find him at the cafe nearby. His name is Luka Étoile. He will be expecting you. Come alone. And I want absolutely nothing to do with that shit. I'll go talk to him, but, I am not involving myself in that nonsense. Let's go... Oh, no, we don't have to go to the phone. No, we're not talking to that guy right now. A lone figure stands in the U-Bahn station. Dietrich. He raises a bottle at your approach and tosses it away. Figured I'd run into you here, boss. Wanted to be sure that I caught you before you headed off. He takes a deep breath, then slowly releases it. Looks you in the eye. Novacat, we need to have a talk about this Humanist gig. Go ahead, Dietrich. I'm listening. Well, I've got a history with Humanist. Fought him back in 39 during the Night of Rage. Hell of a thing that was. I remember the terror, the senseless violence, the murdered children. I remember this little dwarf boy. They stuffed his body into the gutter in Novacat. I can still see his face, all bruised and broken. To this day, it makes my blood boil. Anyway, long story short, we beat him. Berlin's punks and anarchists all came together and we stomped the living dreck out of those racist pigs. A lot of good people died that night, but we put down some of the bad ones too. Why are you telling me all of this? So that you'll understand. I don't like Humanists. I hate the swine. But there's one of them that I've got to try to save. My nephew, Alexander. He's a good kid, Novacat. I don't believe for a second that he's bought into their bullshit. But I have it on good authority that he's signed on with Humanists all the same. Why would he join a hate group if he isn't a racist? Can't say for certain, but I have a pretty strong guess. Alexander's dad is a miserable sack of a man. I wouldn't put it past him to look at Humanists as a boarding school. They feed and raise their recruits, and that's money that he'd rather spend on himself. So I'm asking you as a personal favor to let me come along in the run. I have to get into that compound, Novacat. I have to find Alexander. I have to turn him around before those animals make him do something unforgivable. Of course, Dietrich. I wouldn't keep you from something like this. Thanks, boss. Never doubted you'd bring me, of course. You're too good a woman for that. But it's good to hear all the same. Alright. It is a shame to me that we, like, do Dietrich's companion quest, like, basically right at the start of the game. I wish it was a little bit more drawn out. Why would I ever take... Oh, we can take Lucky Strike. That would be interesting. What's her whole deal? Oh, her gun is named Lady. That's cool. Whoa, what? Some of these people look actually kind of cool. Lucky Strike does cost money, yeah. That is, unfortunately, the rub. And that's money that I can spend on better gear. And giving to Samuel. I just remembered what the deal with Lucky Strike is in, Shadowrun Hong Kong. One of the party members used to run with Lucky Strike. And I think that party member did do work in Berlin. Obviously, because Lucky Strike is here. So I think the Tolstoy mentioned on the BBS might be a reference to that party member. Well, not a reference, but you get what I mean. The U-Bahn battles to a halt at the edge of Kreuzberg. You're only a few blocks away from Schottenest, the Kiosk that Maxim and his smugglers call home. According to Samuel, they should be expecting you. False Flag. That's a fucking great mission name. It is a very good story, and I always appreciate, like, stomping Nazis. Look, boss, I just want to thank you for bringing me along on this one. It means a lot. Don't sweat it. Even Shadowrunners have family. He nods. Alexander is a good kid, you know? If I'd been there for him, if I hadn't run off to Berlin and left him with his worthless sack of a dad, he'd never have fallen in with those humanist pigs in the first place. The expression on Dietrich's face softens, and he claps you on the shoulder. Let's go find my nephew. And let's crack all the humanist skulls we can along the way. The fuckers have it coming in more ways than I can count. Let's actually take a quick little break. My voice is getting a little bit raspy, and I should probably grab a little, like, drink of water. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Hello. I'm gonna take a sippy quick. Oops, we're doing a long one tonight. I did plan to do a long one tonight. It's hard not to. This game's good. A matronly woman with a round face and kind eyes greets you. Her apron is caked with what looks like about a year's worth of grease. Guten Tag, what can I get you? That depends. What do you have? Well, today we have a soya-based currywurst for 5 yen, or a soup and sandwich combo for 10. Good, simple, stick to your ribs food. Perfect for a cold day like this. I'll take the soup and sandwich combo. That'll be 10 yen, please. She hands over a small cup of steaming soup and a sandwich. You take a quick bite and spit down some soup. It's wonderful. Delicious, thank you. She favors you with a motherly smile. Sure thing, honey. The vendor pauses for a moment and steeples her pudgy fingers. We don't see many strangers down at this end of the line. In case you hadn't noticed, things are a little run down out here. You weren't thinking of heading out past the wall, were you? As a matter of fact, I was. Well, it doesn't make any difference to me, but you be careful out there. The people on the other side of that wall, well, they've got no respect. For anybody. Thanks for the warning. She nods. Best of luck and take care of yourself. I like that. Little interactions like that, like, really make a game. Searching the dead drop, you find a package with the telltale markings of the Shockwell writer. Re Humanist. This is an open request for information on current and past donors to the Humanist Poly Club. Identifying information such as home addresses and photographs is preferred. The presence of this hate group and its supporters will no longer be tolerated within our community. We'll expose them to the harsh light of the truth. The timely delivery of this information will be rewarded. Freedom, equality, information, Shockwell writer. Hey, the Shockwell writer are cool. A rough-looking dwarf with a fire plug build holds out his hands at your approach. Whoa there, pal. I don't know where you think you're headed, but you should turn around and go back the way you came. Appreciate the warning, but that isn't gonna happen. I've got an appointment to keep. He shakes his head. I'm telling you, one dwarf to another, the people out there are bad news. That's why we're stationed here. To keep those people out. There are gangs on the other side of this barricade who'd skin you alive as soon as look at you. Look, I don't have a choice. I need to get out. Whoa. I need to get out there. If I don't, some punk gangs are going to be the least of my problems. He shakes his head. All right, fine. If that's really what you want, we won't try to stop you. He gestures to the troll standing behind him. Let him by, Sergey. Thanks, Sergey. Appreciate ya. The figure at the center of the group shoots you an insolent glance. His fine, elvish features match Samuel's description. This must be Maxim, your smuggler liaison. Well, well, if it isn't the muscle that Tuck promised us. Look who it is, everybody. The new hires have elected to grace us with their presence. Nice of you to join us. He glances at the PDA on his wrist, then looks back up at you. When he speaks again, his voice is sharp and humorless. You're late, chummer. Yeah, sorry about that. I got held up at the wall. He lets out a theatrical sigh. Well, you come highly recommended, so I suppose I'll overlook it. If we run into trouble, you'll be glad to have me around. I guarantee it. His mouth twists up into a smirk. I certainly hope so, for your sake. Without another word, he turns and slaps the side of a bulldog step van. A second van of the same design rumbles to life a few feet away. Pile in, people, and be ready. There's rough country between us and the meeting site. We might run into trouble along the way. You got it, boss man. Oh yeah, that water's hitting the spot. That's exactly what I needed. Water's so good. Did y'all know water's good? Water's great. 20 minutes into your trip, the van comes to a screeching halt. Maxim presses his face to the passenger window. From the mix of anger and dread on his face, you can tell that he doesn't like what he sees. Damn it! I knew this was gonna happen. I fucking knew it. He cranes his neck around to look you in the eye. Everybody pile out of the van and get ready, Novacat. We're gonna need some muscle in a second. I'm doing alright. I'm kinda EP, but I had some monster and I have some water, so I should be energized soon. How are you today? As you take your position outside the van, you hear a shrill voice bark out an order. A pair of portable gun turrets begins to self-calibrate in response. Sweeping your gaze over the gangers assembled before you, you identify the owner of the voice. A leathery woman with wild hair and a mirthless smile. She calls out again, her voice brimming with pride. Hello out there! Welcome to Rambok territory. Maxim licks his lips, his eyes scanning over the gangers' hastily assembled roadblock. This Kias belongs to Surf Turf, slag. Has for months. You better clear on out of our way before they show up and force you out. Hell yeah. Fuck yeah. FF9 rules. I gotta get back to that at some point. But I think if I do get back to it, I want to stream it. I got a decent chunk of the way through it. I think I got to the... Did I get the second disc? I think I might have gotten the second disc. But then I just kind of fell off of it. Like I do many games. Surf Turf. Those tunnel rats. They're ancient history. Go ahead and call them if you don't believe me. Her face twists into an ugly smile. By the way, this woman is, like, unbelievably attractive. Scream as loud as you want. They won't hear you. We buried them last week. Maxim's expression turns stony, but his voice remains calm. Congratulations on your victory. You must have taken some losses in the fight, though. I'm betting you're not at 100%. Why don't you let us cross the bridge in peace? There's no need for any bloodshed today. You know what? You're absolutely right. We don't need to fight. You just pay us a small toll and we'll be more than happy to let you cross our bridge. I'm thinking, say, 500 new yen per van. Her voice turns cold. Otherwise, you'd better find another way to get where you're going. Because this bridge is ours and nobody crosses without paying the toll. Nobody. Women that can kill me equal hot. Very understandable. Yeah. Vinny, I would argue FF10 is among the best. Having played that, like, this year. Also 14. 14. Hey, 14's good. 14 rules. 14 whips ass. 14's really good. 7's good, but... I feel like I would want to replay it with a more accurate translation. Because the English translation of the version that we got isn't very good. I wonder if there's actually like a translation ROM hack for that. That'd be interesting to do. I think Tim Rogers did like a bunch of videos like comparing the translations. Or not comparing the translations, comparing the scripts of the two of them. And I think like he vastly prefers the Japanese version. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe this does need to get violent. Maxim turns to you. Get ready to ventilate these assholes, Novacat. We've got a schedule to keep. Look, let's be smart about this. Nobody wants a firefight today. Good. That's a real good idea, pal. The ganger boss jeers at Maxim. See that? Your muscle is smarter than you are. You should put her in charge. Maxim wheels around to face you, his face a mask of fury. His voice explodes out in a harsh whisper. Quiet the fuck down. You don't speak for me, you don't speak for this organization. Be cool, man, I can get us out of this. Maxim stares at you, bristling, but he holds his tongue. After a few seconds, he nods. Do it, but you better not fuck this up. Dietrich leans forward to whisper into your ear. His ubiquitous smile has disappeared. This is a waste of time, boss. Let me fry these sons of bitches so that we can get back on task. Maxim steps back, leaving you to negotiate with the Rambach leader. The Ganger boss stands there, hands on her hips, awaiting your response. Here's the deal. You let us cross for 750 new yen. That includes the return trip. We renegotiate for future crossings. There's a brief pause, then the Rambach boss yells out a response. You've got yourselves a deal! His eyes go wide. Do you even have 750 new yen? Because that ain't coming out of our cut. Yeah, I've got it. We can't risk getting shot up before the meet. He shakes his head at you. You want to pay them, that's your business. I still think you're crazy, but I won't say no. The courtyard of the Humanist compound is strangely quiet. The only activity that you notice is the clatter of mechanized gates as they rumble shut behind the vans. The bulldogs roll to a stop. You step out alongside Maxim and the rest of the smugglers. There are crates here, a lot of crates, all scattered in various stages of disorganization. It looks as though your delivery is just one of many that this branch of Humanist has received. The smugglers unload the cargo from their vans with practiced efficiency. The whole operation feels polished and professional, but you can tell that Maxim is nervous. You can see it in his eyes. The smugglers finish unloading the last of the crates, then take up positions around the van. Minutes later, nobody comes to meet you. No welcoming party. Maxim shakes his head. This isn't a good sign. It's almost as if they didn't expect us to make it here. He nods. My thoughts exactly. This puts us in a bad spot, Novacat. I'm not sure what our next step is. We need some answers, and we need to get paid. I'm gonna go have a talk with them. What are you gonna do, knock on the front door? What makes you think they'll leave an answer? They've done a pretty good job of avoiding us so far. Leave that to me, friend. Dietrich jerks a thumb in the direction of the Humanist compound. They'll have a hard time avoiding us when I'm in there, kicking down doors and lighting fires. His eyes widen. You've got to be kidding me. That's a Humanist compound, pal. You go in there and you aren't gonna come back out. I'm your muscle. Dealing with situations like this is part of the job description. You're serious, aren't you? You're really going in there. He takes a step back. Well, be my guest. I won't get in your way. When you make it back, if you make it back, we'll be out here waiting for you. Oh, do tactics. Tactics is really good. Tactics is incredibly good. There's a warning label plastered onto the side of this container. Judging by the amount of small print in the label, whatever's being stored in here is extremely bad news. Take a closer look at the label. Warning! Highly dangerous chemical agent. Do not take internally. Avoid contact with skin, eyes, mouth, and clothing. Increases aggression and reduces impulse control when inhaled. Avoid breathing fumes or vapor. Important, do not proceed unless material safety data sheet has been read and understood. Wow, they literally reference MSDS in this fucking game. God damn. Increases aggression and reduces impulse control when inhaled. Well, that's probably a bad vibe. Terrible vibe. War of the Lions is good. I also like some of the advanced tactics. I'm not overly fond of Tactics Advance because I think the overarching theme, point, whatever, of the game sucks. I think the game itself is good. I just think the story is bad. And it kind of upsets me. I gotta play, like, the one that was, like, on DS or whatever, though. The Humanist compound smells like a locker room and doesn't look much better. Calling the building run down would be an understatement. Paint is peeling off of the cheap Duraplast walls, and the tiles on the floor are mired with decades' worth of grime. It's an old, ugly place, perfectly suited to the old, ugly ideology being practiced here. You enter the compound. The information that Samuel Beckenbauer sent you here to find lies somewhere ahead. Ooh! Yes, yes, yes! Stranger of Paradise fucks. Do it. If you like Final Fantasy 1, play it. These all... Well, that's... No. They all have codes. Why does that say interact and not footlocker? Perplexing. That is odd, right? That must have just been an oversight. Can't hack that, huh? There's a spirit there, which is nice. That'll come in handy, I'm sure. There's a handwritten note sitting on the table. Hey, Capel, you come highly recommended. Anyone who did what you did to those elves will go far around here. You can hit the kitchen anytime, but otherwise stay close unless otherwise told. Your locker code is 2619, locker 3. I don't want to think about what he did to those elves. This is 2. So this is 3. That was 2619? Recruit Capel, your enthusiasm at the rally was more than commendable. Those Trog bastards really got what was coming to them. Volker wants to see you right away. His personal code is Pride. Share this with no one. I wonder if that works for the armory. No. Manus office door code. Oh yeah, I forgot how much stuff there is in here before a fight breaks out. There's a lot of area here. Operations account information downloaded. You get access to a list of Humanist safe houses worth some yen in the right hands. Fuck yeah, I do. We're gonna fuck these people all the way up. A list of the newest batch of Humanist recruits scrolls onto the screen. Alexander Farber, I think. Yeah, so that's just a different, Wait. Oh, shit. In alphabetical order, you say? The security camera being there is putting me on edge. So, Bauer would be 13706. Drugs. Naturally. Then Farber. 1409. The locker opens with a click. Inside, you find a note. Alexander, you seemed less than enthusiastic in our education sessions. Please understand that we are not a shelter, we are a factory. A factory that refines the dross of society, people like you, into strong, pure warriors for humanity. In the future, see to it that you are on time and well rested. If you drop the ball again, we're going to have a little talk about your future in this organization, Volker Stahl. Some guard just watching you run back and forth, probably being too racist to realize you're up to something. Yeah. Dietrich snatches the note out of your hands. I knew it! I knew that Alex wouldn't buy into their bullshit. He reads the note over again, his lips moving over the syllables. Come on, boss. He's still here somewhere. There's still time. Yeah. I don't think I ever bothered to actually do all this. So Capel was the one we was 3. Client is 4. So 4176. Hopefully we find the armory code. That'd be nice. Ooh. Money. Then Schumacher 1106. Let's see if I can remember the next code. A note. Friedrich, I am pleased with how well you are doing. To show my growing trust in you, I'm giving you a new assignment in addition to your trainee duties. Beginning tomorrow, I would like you to tidy the armory. The access code is Purity. See that you don't forget it. Tomorrow evening, I expect to see a full inventory of the weapons in your arsenal by nightfall. With it, you will deliver me a requisition order for the weapon of your choosing. You're a pig, my boy. I'll leave it up to you. Congratulations, Friedrich. This honor is well deserved. Volker Stahl. Hell yeah. Purity. Of course it's fucking Purity. Hey! I remembered it. Oh, it's empty. Ooh, that's like one of the most used emotes on the channel. Or, well, not on the channel, but in my Discord server. Turret. Ooh. That's a shotgun? I need to get my ranged combat up. Yeah. I mean, bigots aren't known for creativity, right? I'll take that. And what is this? Really wish I could, like, give this stuff to my party members. Alright. Did I get the pay data that the Shockwell writer wanted me to get? I don't think I've gotten that yet. Man, that's... You don't need to put that on the walls, guys. I think they know your mission statement. Ah, there's a terminal right there. Oh, and a file cabinet. After a few minutes of sifting through account sheets, you find what you're looking for. A complete donor list for the Berlin chapter of Humanus. I will download that. You download the list to your PDA. There are quite a few well-known names on here, including a billionaire philanthropist and a children's trio show host. Yeah, that sounds about right. I don't need these, actually, because these just tell me codes that I already have. Enter the door code. Oh, we're doing a save. Okay.